I'll be honest, I actually had no intention of watching this film in the first place. I was going to the cinemas earlier today to watch Inside Out 2. However, when I got there, I saw a long queue, which is very rare for my theatre. Most of them were queuing to watch the film How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. So I changed my option last minute and went to watch this movie instead. And boy did I not regret it. The theatre was packed. Even when I went to watch Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, there were only 4 people, myself included, in the theatre opening weekend. But for this movie, it was a full house. That is insane. And by the way, it didn't seem like many people were going to watch Inside Out 2, so I didn't go and watch it either. Before going to watch the movie, the only thing I knew about it was that it was a real tearjerker.
Emotional, damn it!
And after watching the movie, I can confirm with you, it was. Let's dig into the review. Welcome back, visionaries, to my latest video. Here's a quick plot synopsis. After seeing his cousin become rich by taking care of her grandfather, hence getting most of his inheritance, our main protagonist M follows suit and sought to do the same thing with his grandmother. And throughout the film, M gets lots of challenges to win his grandmother's trust and become her number one. M is the kind of guy who just likes to lay back and not work, play video games. He's even a streamer, by the way, who only has 4 viewers and wants to become rich the easiest and fastest way. Basically a very lazy guy who just wants to become rich and does not care much about his grandmother, at the beginning of the film at least. Straight away, I'm sure there are certain quirks and personality this guy has that a lot of you can relate to, especially my generation, the younger generation. His ignorance causes his grandmother to end up in the hospital. I mean, what an irresponsible guy. Look, we were all irresponsible when we were young, but this is a next level irresponsibility. And the doctors find out that she has cancer. And this is the perfect opportunity for M to swoop in to gain his grandmother's trust and her number one spot by taking good care of her and possibly inherit him a lot of money. Now this is a very introspective, patient, quiet and thematically layered film, which sounds kind of ironic if you think about it, because the title does not say that at all. The title feels very different compared to what the film was. We really need more films like these. In an era where there are so many loud, bombastic, fast-paced, big-budget movies, this one feels like a breath of fresh air. I felt the same with The Holdovers as well. Movies like this give us the space or pause from these big movies that we need. I'm a very impassive person. I rarely have tears for movies, but this was an exception. I had tears welling up my eyes. In a time where there are so many movies that just feel so empty because they lack the themes to talk about, comes a movie with thematic depth. Some of these topics and themes portrayed include the ethics of taking care of an elderly for gaining her inheritance, although nobody visits her that much. So if you think about it, in a way it's a good thing because you're giving her attention, you're giving her your time, you're giving her company, which is something she would want at her age as well. But at the same time, it feels wrong because you're doing it so that you can just get her money and her inheritance, not because you care about her. Should we prioritize our parents or should we prioritize our wife and children? The loneliness that comes with it as well. As we grow older, the children have other priorities like appeasing to their partner, their wife or their children, and we become lonely and getting used to that as well. Choosing an early, unpainful death or prolonging your life, but you're going to be living in pain. These are just a few. The movie was densely laid by thematic ideas like these and more. You see, it is movies like these that feel very rich in storytelling because of how thematically layered, relatable and down to earth the characters and plot are. That's why we need more movies like these, with stories that everyone can relate to. This film is about a Chinese-Thai family living in Thailand. Heck, I'm not even Chinese or Thai and I don't even live in Thailand, but I can relate to it on a deeper level. This is something Hollywood has to learn. Instead of making films for a specific audience, why not make it for everyone? And people will flock to the theatres to watch it. I'm not even a crier, and yet I could feel the tears welling in my eyes. The last time a movie made me tear up was probably Your Name. The lady sitting next to me was literally bawling her eyes out. Okay, bawling was an over-exaggeration, yeah, but you get the point. She was crying a lot. Both during and after the film outside the theatre, people of all ages can watch and enjoy this film. There were elderly people, adults, teens and young children in my theatre. When I was watching Furiosa or Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, there were literally only 4 people. I can count them with one hand in the theatre. And in this movie, not just our two main characters, M and his grandmother, but all the characters are relatable to a certain extent as the film takes its time to develop them. The mother, the two brothers, each had their own struggles to face, had their own reasons for their actions, and you just immediately relate with them and they pull your heartstrings and make us care for them. M's mother was a very well written female character, something Hollywood nowadays struggles with, and was clearly my favorite character outside our two main protagonists. Each of the grandmother's children represent a different kind of child once grown up. One who still deeply cares for her mother and wants to do right by her, one who struggles choosing between his wife and child and the mother, the other who is struggling to meet monetary requirements for his life every day and is still leeching off his mother. Our main character progresses from this ignorant, foolhardy, unsympathetic and ambitious for money kind of character to someone who grows more affection and wants to spend time with them, help them, and also becomes more hardworking. And these changes are subtle and gradual. You don't see it happen like, wow, a big change. No, it actually happens slowly and it happens in everyday actions that the characters do. Moreover, this movie is not just fully sad as you would expect, like how I'm portraying it to be. There are moments of laughter as well. The comedy in this film is really well done. The comedic moments in this film are really effective and the timing was also impeccable. So that's why the movie was very well paced. There was one scene in particular, one comedic scene in particular regarding our main protagonist, M, and his grandmother. His grandmother, he was supposed to shower his grandmother and it was really funny because she just took her clothes off and he just said, "This is new territory for me," and he couldn't look at all. Now let's talk about the visuals. The first thing I noticed regarding the visuals were the shot compositions. Whether they were using rule of thirds, leading lines or some other composition techniques or even breaking them, I thought the shots were wonderfully composed. When it comes to the tearjerker moments, the camera is usually on a close-up to the actor's face and this brings us closer to the characters, makes us feel more emotional for them. The acting is spectacular throughout the cast, by the way, especially M's mother. I think she had the best acting, and as well as the grandmother. Sometimes it cuts to random shots like a rainbow in the sky or a red flower fallen down and surrounded by darkness and the grass. It really made the environment more lived in and realistic and down to earth, making the characters more relatable to the audience as well. Symbolisms were also there, especially the shot with the red flower surrounded by darkness. I thought there was some great symbolism. Then we have to talk about certain things in the story. Firstly, the story had so many full circle moments and each of them felt so satisfying by the end. The movie's ending was also very satisfying, a great ending to the story. But I already raved so many great things about the story in my other points, so at this point let's just move on to the next thing. You know, not everything is perfect, so I will have some drawbacks. I think the title gave away too much regarding the movie. It may seem straightforward, but I would have preferred a title more subtle to the story, basically one that does not give away too much regarding the story. And I don't have much else criticism. I think this is a damn near perfect film for me. I'm going to give this film a solid 9.5 out of 10. If you're looking for a really relatable and emotional story, this is it for you. And if you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel and see you guys next time. Guys, always the best.